Right, everybody, welcome along to IUF1 here tonight then, and here tonight we are here at Monza for short qualifying and then the main race just after that. Tonight is my first round here on the IUF1 and it is very, very exciting to be here. I wasn't here last week because of power cut. I don't even know how that happened, boys, but we are here tonight and ready to give you a good commentary. I'm gonna have to go down the order today and make sure that I can get you to know for me to get to know all the names anyway. On there, we've got 15 minutes of qualifying on the clock. Then we have at the top. I'm gonna go through them all so I can get my head around the names. We've got Chrism. We've got I'll call him Beaver. We've got MFG. I don't know what I'm gonna say. We're gonna call it a Da. We have Gary, Blake, Nefil, Lucky, Kutu, we have Dre Dude, Rob, Mr. Old School, we've got Nico, Gorku, and Emod. I am very, very sorry if I butcher some of your names, because it is my first time here today, so please be a bit accepting, but I will do my very, very best to give you the best show today then. Out here in qualifying, it is Beaver then. In P2 in P2, he is on P2 at the moment, but we'll see what qualifying time he can put on the board. His first time in Sector 1 is a 26.8 then, with a quickest in the first sector time even, and we'll see what time he can put on the board. Today we've got the track map up in the bottom right, and we can see the first time of the weekend so far is Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre, that is the rapper. Dre Dude then, with a 1 minute 30.6 quickest time on the board so far, and we'll see what the second time to be posted on there will be in the next few moments' time. The second time will be a Red Bull, I believe. Will it be a Red Bull? No, it won't. He starts his flying lap. There's another Red Bull to come around soon and put that time on the board. We have Leave It Beaver. Leave It to Beaver then. Leave It to Beaver in P3 and in the Williams as well, who is going to come around the final corner soon. We've got Rob Start with a 1 minute 21.9 quickest time on the board so far. That is a lovely, lovely time, and hopefully he can try and hold that up there today. We have Leave It to Beaver then, who goes into the pit lane with the invalidated time as well. And this one, I've just found out, is the no assist one as well. It's a Champions Tier. Which is very, very exciting to hear about. Champions Tier here tonight. We have Tier 1, Tier 2, and Champions here in IUF1. And Mr. Old School goes old school with it. 1 minute 20.2. It's Gorku then to take provisional pole with 1 minute 19.2 and takes it by a second away from Mr. Old School on that qualifying time there. 13 minutes of qualifying left, everybody. And we get ready to see some more times over the line. Gorku then to quickest, Mr. Old School second, is Lucky in third, Rob Stark fourth, Dre Dude in 5 is Emod with a P6 time at the moment. That is not too great. I'm not sure that's very representable of him at all, but it's Chrism who goes to P3 then, 1 minute 20.7, not too bad at all, not a bad effort from the Red Bull. Just there is Blake who goes into the pit lane as well. Nefil 33 to 7 with a 1 minute 26.9. He's probably going for another one after that lap around. Gary on his out lap. Gary, I think, one of the British drivers in this league. One of my fellow Brits that have to stay up very late for this league. And it's going to be all very fun and games. I'm hoping tonight will be a good one as well. There's Nico. Nico goes to P5 then with 1 minute 21.1. Not too bad at all. The gap between him and Lucky is incredibly close. And Lucky was lucky to get himself in P4 and not get overtaken on that time just there then. I don't know if I did mention this at the start of the stream. But the reason why it took me so long to start actually going, because I started the stream forgetting that I've got to make sure it streams to light stream, so that is completely my bad, and that's why none of the graphics was showing up either. But I've sorted that now. We've got the graphics up on the screen, and hopefully with a bit of feedback in the chat, hopefully everything is going to plan so far. Got 10 in the stream chat as well. Hope you're all doing very well. Hope you're all having a good evening. Then we got Gorku F1, who is the quickest time on the board so far, 1 minute 19.2. It is 3 tenths between him and Emod, who did get himself to P2, was down at the back earlier on and gets himself up to the top positions then in this qualifying session so far, but it's Nico. It is Nico on another lap. It is looking to be that way, as it is Nico in the Alpine. Then he's going to go foot to the floor then, up towards the line, and he goes into the pit lane at the end of that one, so he wasn't on the lap, and Rob Stark will be going into the pit lane, or will he be going for another lap? He'll be going for in the pit lane even with no fuel, never mind. Gary in 13. Gary is on a flying lap, and will this be a good lap for Gary then? The Ferrari is trying his very hardest, but a good time on the board this weekend. The clock is ticking, mate, and P13 so far. Where can he get himself as he goes up towards the line, foot to the floor then for the Ferrari. Across the line here in qualifying, it is a P9 122.0. And not a bad time at all. 10 minutes left of qualifying as a McLaren comes out the pit lane. And was that a McLaren of Gorku? Yes, it was. Right then, the best part of 10 minutes left on the clock for qualifying. Gorku is quickest on track so far from Emod, then from Mr. Old School. It is Chrism in P4, Lucky P5. It is Nico 6, Rob Stark 7, Dre Dude 8, Gary 9, and Nethel 33 in 10 at the moment. We have Leave It to Beaver in 11, who hasn't actually put a time on the board so far. MFG, no time on the board, who is actually out there on a lap and quickest in the first sector. Let me just tell you that. Is he going to go for a pole time today? MFG then is heading towards the final few corners here in Imola. It is the Parabolica. The world famous Parabolica. And it is MFG in the Haas. His teammate is last position so far. Can he put a good time on the board here in qualifying? Can he redeem the Haas team in this session? He went quickest in the first sector. He goes over the line to take P8 then. 1 minute 21.1. Not a bad effort from the man himself, MFG. And he puts himself in P8. Leave It to Beaver is down on time. He is in P12 at the moment, 1 minute 22.2. We have Blake, who is heading up towards the line. He is invalidated this lap, actually, with 8 minutes of qualifying left. And he heads towards... Well, he heads over the line and starts another lap today. Gorku is down on time by a very small margin and will not be improving so far. But as he heads over the second sector line, flies past the AlphaTauri. It is Gorku then who goes slower by 3/10, and that will not be improving at all. Mr. Old School will improve by a tiny bit, but then slowed down on his lap just there. MFG, is he going around for another one? He's got 57% ERS. It is likely he's on another one. He did put a P8 time. I think he can go quicker than that. He goes off the edge. Nearly invalidates on that lap there, but he doesn't. And Mr. MFG is going to go foot to the floor, flies past the Alfa Romeo on the left-hand side. Somebody else joins to make it 16 drivers in the game right now, and MFG has sadly invalidated on that lap around. And we have Marion Kanga then in the race at the moment. We've not seen him yet, but the first time I have seen him, and hopefully I will get to know them all over the coming Monday nights coming up. I'm going to do my very best to give you my best commentary, and my best voice. But obviously, as it is 11:30 at my in my country, I mean, naturally, I'm not as loud as I normally would be earlier in the day, but I'll try my best to give you the best I can, and I'd love some feedback in the chat. What you guys think about it. But with 6 minutes of qualifying left on the clock, we should start to see some brilliant times get pelted in pretty soon then. And we will take a look when they start to come in. We've got 11 people in the Twitch chat. It's good to see you all. Would love to see some questions in the stream chat or predictions. Whatever you want to ask me, I will be more than happy to answer them for you. Best part of 6 minutes then in qualifying. And Gorku on his way out of the pit lane is Emod in P2 and on a lap at the moment. And going for another one now. He bottled that last lap and now going for another one. Will it be a good lap then for Emod in the Williams? This is not the lap of the weekend. It might be, but we never know. This is not the final lap that he could do this weekend, so we'll have to see what he does. Kuto in P3. Lucky P4 at the moment. Chrism is up on time by a small margin in the first... Never mind, that was his last lap around. He's down on time in this lap around, and we're going to go that down to Gary, who is on a flying lap. Is Gary going to put a good time on the board? He has gone with a 1 minute 22 flat. And I'll tell you something, the times in this league are incredibly close to each other in some cases, and Gary is going to be foot to the floor in that Ferrari, then up towards the line. What time can he put on the board? It's a 8 tenths quicker, 121.2. That is what you call a respectable time then from Gary in P10 just there. Right, is that Goku on a flying lap? I think it might be. We saw him come out of the pit lane and now finally starting his flying lap once again. There's 3 minutes and 50 seconds left on the clock of qualifying. Goku is quickest with 1 minute 19.2 on the board at the moment. And Emod in second. We'll have to see as the times start to get pelted in towards the end of the night and towards the end of qualifying. The times are going to start to get quicker. The track is going to start to ramp up. And we will see what sort of times start to get pelted in. This is going to get really, really interesting then here in qualifying. Gorku's down, and that is interesting because he has already gone quickest and cannot improve. Is that his limit then here in qualifying? He can't go any quicker at the moment. Right then, on that lap around, Gorku did go quicker than everybody else and improved on his time. There's 5 tenths between him and Emod at the moment. Emod's out on an outlap, Lucky on an outlap. It is Nefil 33 on an outlap too. Gorku's out of the session and Blake is just starting his flying lap now. This one is going to be incredibly interesting to watch, and we'll see whereabouts he can get himself, well, throughout this session and throughout this lap. It's going to be really, really interesting for Blake, and we'll see what he can do. His quickest time is 1 minute 27.5, so it is really inevitable for him to improve on this lap. And let's take a look through the first sector then for Blake. It is down by 2 tenths on this lap. And then he stops in the middle of the track, and that is it for Blake. Most likely in qualifying as well. There's not enough time for him to go around and put another time on the board. Marion then in P16 with 1 minute and 30 seconds left of qualifying. This is the lap of the weekend then for Marion. This is the lap, and we'll keep a look on that one when we can. MFG has invalidated and going around to start their final lap of the weekend today. MFG up towards the line. Will they start the lap or will they go in the pit lane? And that will be the end of qualifying for MFG. That is it. That is the end of qualifying for MFG. There's no more time for him to go around and do another lap. Emod is out there at the moment and on a flying lap again. Look at that ERS. All gained up to the top and got a lot of it indeed. Emod has got one of the best chances here to find 0.5 of a second and get past Gorku's time, go quicker maybe. He does go quicker and quickest in the whole session by a half a tenth there. That is incredibly small, but it is half a tenth. It is time, and where there's time, there is even more time then for Emod. Let's see what he can produce in this lap. He gets the DRS flap wide open and now heads towards the end of Sector 2. Emod in that Williams is looking for that provisional pole then here today. He is down by a second, and as it stands at the moment, he will not be getting provisional pole here today. Lucky is on a lap, and I don't know if they've improved in the first sector. But look, he does improve by 0.2 of a second, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just tell you that. It is 0.2 of a second, and that is exactly what we want to hear today then. Look, he heads towards the Parabolica then, here in Monza, and heads towards the end of this lap. The final lap for him in this weekend. The guys at the back have finished qualifying. The last few drivers could have headed to the line, across the line even. Look, he goes round then at the end of qualifying. And in P4, it was looking to be a brilliant lap, and he spins round at the end. And it is Lucky to ruin his end of qualifying lap just there. Emod in the pit lane, Kuto in the pit lane to take P2 and P3 at the end of qualifying. Lucky takes P4 then. Chrism is up by 0.2. Do we see a Chrism comeback then from P6 all the way up to the top? This could be interesting. 0.6 of a second found. If he gets this, it'll get him right up to the top. Chrism has found enough time to get himself up there in the top positions. Can the Red Bull maintain this? Dart in P6 then takes the P6. Gary takes P7 at the end of qualifying. This is what it all comes down to. The last qualifying lap of the weekend. It is Chrism across the line. What can Chrism do? To P5 then at the end of qualifying. And at the end of that one, it is Gorku F1 to take provisional pole then here in qualifying from Emod from Kuto in P3. What a qualifying session, boys. Well done. Right, then finish the results then for short qualifying. It is Gorku F1 in the McLaren to take provisional pole then from Emod, the Canadian driver, in the Williams to take P2, then Kuto P3, and moving down the grid, it is Lucky P4, Chrism P5, Mr. Old School 6, it is Dar P7, Gary 8, Nethil 33-9, and it is Nico in P10 at the end of that one. So, ladies and gentlemen, next up is the Grand Prix, and we also do have a 5-minute break between qualifying and race, like I've just been told in the stream chat, which once again is something I will learn over the next few weeks. But 5-minute break, everybody, and then the main race just after that. See you then. And on the stream, I do have a few screens as we're waiting for the race. We have the partners coming up on your screen. I don't know much about them at all. Obviously, it's my first time. I probably will get to learn about them, but it is it Ulti Energy? Is that how we say it? Ulti Energy. You can use the promo code IUF1 and save 10% off your next order, which does sound very good to me. And hopefully sounds appealing to some of you guys watching as well. We have the partnerships on the screen just there, and I will keep displaying these throughout, just to keep reminding you. And we can take a look at stream schedule as well, shall we? On the screen right now, obviously tonight is Champions Division Monday nights, which is for you guys 6 PM EST, for me 11 PM, and then tomorrow Tier 1 is Tuesday nights, and then it is Tier 2 on Wednesday nights for for this league, and it is 7 p.m. EST for the Americans and 12 midnight for me, which I will not be commentating on because I will be fast asleep at that time. But I hope you guys have a brilliant night this week for that. And as we move back to the main screen and we just wait for 5 minutes for the race to get going. Right everybody, here in IUF1 for my first race, and here in Monza then, it is the Champions Division. It is lights out, and away we go then. Gorku off the line brilliantly already, but he's got the Williams on the inside of Emod, then trying to go down the inside, and already Emod takes the lead into turn 1 already. It is lap 1 out of 27, and Emod already tries to take the lead. He does take the lead. Gorku tries to retake it there, but he can't get back through, and it's Emod who takes the lead of the race and already pulling away. Gorku's got trouble here, then he's got Kuto trying to go around the outside. Kuto trying his very, very best to get through past the McLaren. Can he do it? Yes, he can. And Gorku has had a horrible, horrible race start then here in Monza. Emod takes the lead then from Kuto, from Gorku. Then looking in 4th, it's Chris in 5th, Mr. Old School 6th, and then Dar 7, Gary 8 with Nico 9, who is actually going side by side with the McLaren. Sorry, Ferrari. Even Nico gets through up to P8, Gary P9. It is Dre Dude in P10, and he's also got the car down his inside. It's the Haas of Nefil 33 who does get through, and next on his list to overtake is Gary now if he can try and get through past him. Yellow flag's on the track at the moment, and someone's going around at the back, but Nefil is going to try his best even to get through past Gary. Now on the backside is Nethu on the backside of the Ferrari of Gary. It's the battle for P9 then here in Monza. Nethu 33. This is a chance to try and overtake him down the straight then. Nethu in that Haas car is going to be going side by side pretty much then down the straight. Can he get enough slipstream to try and overtake him then down into turn 1? The massive long run down to turn 1. This is going to help him a lot, but the Haas car cannot get through just down there. Whoa, Rebel off the grass onto the gravel, even lets a load of cars through, and it's Chrism who has completely bottled that race start. On lap 2 out of 27, Chrism is right down to P11. Lap 2 out of 27, it is Kuto leading the race now from Emod. Kuto managed to get through to take the lead of the Italian Grand Prix. Emod's fighting back though, and can he try and get through and back past him? That is the big question, and I wonder if he can get through past him at this moment in time. There's big crash at the back. I think it is Marion and Blake, both out of the, not both out, but both of them at the back and crashed in this race so far. But as we take a look at this, the gap between Kuto and Emod, you couldn't even see Emod when they were going down the straight there. He was that hidden and close behind Kuto. As we now go on to the main straight, if there's ever opportunity for Emod to get through, this is the one now. Emod on the backside of Kuto. He's got the slipstream, he's got the quickest last sector as well. Emod has got the advantage then down the inside of this corner. If he breaks later, he might just be able to take it then. As Kuto back down the inside, has got the advantage on the inside of that corner. And he does manage to stay ahead on the 3rd lap out of 27. And big stuff at the back. Oh my, it is Marion, Blake, I think it is Leave It to Beaver as well, all at the back now, and they're back on the track and racing once again all together. It is Rob Stark then trying to get through past the rest of these guys. He lets them through. Leave It to Beaver's now up to P13 and Gorku up to P12. I say that like it's a good thing, but he did start at the front and now drop down right to the back. Gorku has not had a good race then here in Monza so far. It is Emod though trying to challenge the backside of Kuto. The gap is 4 tenths as MSG gets a 3-second time on the team. That's a VSC then here in this race. Mr. Old School off the track down to P14 and not had a great start at all so far. So VSC means the grid will be neutralised for now. It's not the same as a safety car, but it is a virtual safety car. So the grid is neutralised without a safety car on the grid. And it will go in at any random moment in the next few moments' time. And it should be going in pretty soon is Kuto. Will lead them away once he gets going once again from Emod, from Lucky, then from Nico. DRS has enabled him. We are racing once again then here in Imola. We're completely wrong side of Italy. Monza. Chrism on the backside of MFG. Can he get through past him? MFG a bit iffy on the exit of that corner there. This is going to be really interesting then if we see Chrism trying to get through past MFG. Can he do it? That is the big question. Right then, we have Gorku and Dre Dude then. P10 and P11. These two having a lovely scrap at the moment. Rob Stark and Leave It to Beaver also both having a lovely scrap out there at the moment. And we'll see how that one progresses throughout the race. Lap 5 out of 27. 22 laps of pure racing in today's race if we don't have any safety cars or VSCs, which is going to be fun. There is 16 drivers, and at the moment there's not really too much going on. We've got Marlon Kanga in the oh, I've just realised I've been saying Marion and it's Marlon. I am very sorry. I've not been reading that right. It just shows that it's that late for me. I can't see anything. I've said it again. Marlon Kanga in P16 and in the pit lane, coming out of the pit lane now and at the very back of the grid. We'll have to see if they can make their way back up to the front. It is Emod who has got 4 tenths between him and Kuto. Kuto's got a slipstream. If the straight was longer, he might be able to get past him. He might be able to get past him down into turn 1, to be fair. He's getting closer and closer. The Mercedes even is going to try and challenge the Williams. He's going to have the inside line out of this corner. The Williams with the outside line, and he manages to get it. And he gets through up to P1. Lucky then P2 at the moment. And he's going side by side with Kuto. Kuto's lost 1 position there in that corner. And Lucky, the other AXV guy, is up to P2 and overtakes Kuto. Down here we go. It is Nethil 33 and Dar then, who are having a bit of a squabble there. And as soon as I look at it, there's no squabble at all. Brilliant. We have yellow flags. Then Blake is out of the session. The first retiree here in Monza. Will that be a safety car? The drivers continue past it, and there's no safety car to come out. Blake is out of the session. And we have 15 left. Lap 7 out of 27 going on to now. 20 laps to go in today's race. 20 laps to go. And Emod is the guy that is leading this Grand Prix at the moment. Behind is Kuto and Lucky going side by side. Kuto retakes what is his. Takes the lead, takes the second place even. And it is Kuto back into P2, then from Lucky, then from Nico, then it is Dar and Nethil 33. Gary in 7, who's been overtaken by MFG down the inside. MFG to 7, and now it is Nethil 33, the other Haas, and MFG, who are both in 6 and 7 at the moment. As we look up ahead, and it is Emod who is leading. He is having a lovely race so far. I'll tell you something. And that is a safety car. Big crash with McLaren. It is Marlon Kanga who went into the pit lane. Now crashes out of the session. That is a big one. And you see the car as well on the exit of that turn. That is a big crash indeed for Marlon. And Marlon out of today's session. The first safety car of today's session is lap 7 out of 27. 20 laps to go. And safety car is out. This is where we see some pit stops then. Safety car is the free pit stop here in Monza. It is Emod in the pit lane, Lucky, Kuto, Nico, Dar, Gary, Nefil33, who is in the pit wall. Not sure what's going on with him, but he's in the pit wall. And then drives straight through. That is completely realistic. F1-23, we love that. And it is Gary in the pit lane as well. MFG, everybody came into the pit lane for new tyres then in today's race. Everybody wants them new tyres. Mr. Old School is incredibly down on time, and will he go into the pit lane to get some new tyres on the board? To get some new tyres on that car. "19 laps to go, and with Emod leading, it is going to be a lovely, lovely safety car restart." It did kind of back off. There was not really many battles going on after that, and as shown from a league that I was commentating on earlier, we can have a safety car, and it's just going to bring the action straight back into the game. And hopefully that is what we get today then, after the safety car decides to go in, which should be in a couple laps' time. And what are we seeing here? Is this someone in the pit lane? Yes, it is. Dre Dude goes into the pit lane under safety car. It is a free pit stop, obviously. I'm not sure why he's going in. Did he not go into the pit lane? I'm not too sure at all. We'll have a look at pit stops. Stops for him, obviously him in the pit lane now. That was not... He did not stop, actually, under safety car. And that is now his first stop of the weekend. And he is down to P14 because of it as well. Not good at all for him, but Emod is right up the backside of the safety car. Then comes Kuto, then comes Lucky, then comes Nico, Dar, Nefil33, Gary, Chrism, MFG, Gorku, Rob Stark, Leave It to Beaver, Mr. Old School, and Dre Dude then at the back of the grid today. Lap 9 out of 27, and hopefully we will get going under hopefully the safety car goes in and we will get going without the safety car pretty soon. As the drivers head towards the end of this sector, and that is exactly what I was going to say. The safety car comes in at the end of this lap. We're going to be racing on the 10th lap out of 27, which is going to be incredibly fun. And going on to the 10th lap next, it'll be Emod to lead them away from Kuto from Lucky. That is your top three to get going. You know what, we're going to spectate Lucky for now. We're going to go on board with Lucky. Hopefully we can get a bit lucky and get some good racing coming off this safety car restart, because we do need some good racing. And there we go, straight away it is Emod already with the jump then off the line. That is exactly what he wanted to do, and he's executed that one absolutely brilliantly then. Lap 9 out of 27 going on to lap 10 now. It is Emod down the straight, the man leading the race so far. He's got Kuto behind, who is gaining and gaining at a rate of knots. Can Kuto try and go around the outside and get past him? No, he can't. And at the moment, Kuto has to stay back and settle for second position just for now. Coming out of that corner, though, coming out of turn 1, it is Nico on the backside of the AlphaTauri. It's the Alpine against the AlphaTauri. Can he try and overtake him on this lap around? He's getting incredibly close, but there's nothing still coming out of it. I thought there'd be more action after safety car restart, but there wasn't as much as I anticipated. But I'll tell you something, props to Emod up ahead at the moment. 1.1 seconds between him and Kuto already on the 10th lap out of 27. And so far, he is dominating the opposition. He is having a lovely, lovely race in that Williams car. His teammate down in P12, not so much, but it's not too bad at all. No, he's not last. He's not last at all. And Gorku in P7 managed to get through past Chrism down the inside and up to P7. Everybody in this race has made a pit stop now because of that safety car. And we will get another one. That is a good question indeed. I mean, anything could happen. Over to laps, and now down the inside, sends it Dredu. Can he get out? Can he go around there? He's got Rob sending it a bit too much around the outside, which is going to cause him to lose more positions. He loses 2 down the straight because of that one. He is not going to be happy about that one at all. But now the Alfa Romeo, Mr. Old School, going past Leave It to Beaver, and he does overtake him down the straight. Lovely, lovely stuff from him then. We've got the Aston Martin trying to dive it down the inside and Leave It to Beaver. What a dive that was then from the Aston Martin. Can he keep it ahead? Yes, he can. And it is Rob Stark to P12, and lovely, lovely stuff. Lovely overtake from him. The Williams leading them from Kuto, from Lucky, from Nico. Nico on the backside of the AlphaTauri. Maybe he can get that overtake on him soon. But so far, it's not been a too bad race. Lap 11 out of 27. So, I'll tell you something. It is going by fairly quick. It really is. But with Nico on the backside of the AlphaTauri, I'm starting to think that we might see an overtake pretty soon. The AlphaTauri is doing well to hold ahead. But the Alpine is gaining and gaining on the AlphaTauri. And through the parabolic we go. DRS should be enabled this lap or the next lap around. Trying to dive it down the inside is Nico. Nico is eager to get this position done and dusted. Already side by side with Lucky coming out of this corner. DRS is now enabled. And on the 12th lap out of 27, Nico is fighting Lucky for 3rd position. Can he take it? Yes, he can for now. Will Lucky try and fight back? No, he will not. And he does take the position. Nico takes P3 and up to P3 he goes. What a move that was down the straight. Netfield 33 in P13. He's got Beaver ahead of him, and he's going to try and overtake him, but for now he cannot do anything. Mr. Old School in the pit lane, and I exit in the pit lane now. It's his 2nd pit stop. I'll tell you something though, props to everybody in this league, in this tier, because it is the Champions tier, and everybody in this tier with no assists at all, which is one thing on its own, and another thing to put on a good race for the stream as well. And very well done so far, everybody. It's impressive, it really is. As it is Emod. I'm actually tired of saying his name. He's actually doing that well. It is Nico trying to make the move on Kuto. He gets the move done and dusted before the first corner. And it was the battle of the Alpine and the Mercedes. At the end of that one, the Alpine came out on top, and it's the 2 blue cars in 1 and 2. Not the same team, but the 2 blue cars of the Williams and the Alpine, 1 and 2. It is Dre Dude with 3-second time penalty. Dre Dude in P8 at the moment, taking over. Crizzy on that lap around. MFG, he's on the back side of the Red Bull. Can he try and overtake him? Then going down here, he's on the back side of him, but the Red Bull just manages to pull ahead with the ERS on that lap around. MFG P9. It is Chrism P10 at the moment. And I just saw a position change, but I don't know what I saw actually. Whoa, taking it wide is Chrism, nearly coming off the track there, nearly going into the wall. Brilliant save from the Red Bull, but he does not want to try that again. That would have been very scary. And he managed to get it back on track, and he's all good after that one. The 14th lap out of 27 starts, and there should be about 13 laps to go, I think, which isn't too long at all. And that is Dar out of the session then in the Aston Martin. That is the third driver out of the session on lap 14 out of 27. It's Emod still leading. Is there a safety car? No, there is not. And it is the Aston Martin out of today's session with 3 drivers out. And I'm not sure how he got out. I was not watching, but he is out of the session. And we can probably see this now. He's not there at all. It's already cleared up. And at the end of that one, we have 3 drivers out of the session in this race. 13 left and going on to the 15th lap of the Grand Prix. This race is absolutely flying by everybody. It really is. Down below it is MFG. Is there someone overtaking? Is Gary? Never mind. Gary into the pit lane. Gary is losing positions because of that. And he down to P12 so far, nearly at the back. And will Mr. Old School be able to overtake him? Yes, he will then, coming around the final corner and up towards the line. Mr. Old School will claim P12. Gary, who went into the pit lane, drops down to the back of the grid because of that one, which is not what he wanted at all. But up ahead, the gap between Emod and Nico is 2.9. Nico is ahead of Kuto. And at the moment, Nico is not doing a too bad job at holding on to this one, but can he try and maintain that gap on the 15th lap out of 27? He's doing his very best, and his best is enough at the moment. (16 out of 27). This race is flying by. Now down the straight, the Mercedes gaining on the Alpine. Was not expecting that one. Nearly trying to get through there. It's Kuto trying to make the move on Nico, but cannot make the move just there. There is about 10 laps to go. And what a race so far. Not been too bad at all down the straight. We got the Haas of MFG. Overtakes Stray Dude on that lap around. He gets through and up to P6 for him. That is exactly what he wanted. Going down the straight now. Another overtake. Neffel 33. Overtaking, leave it to Beaver. Another overtake we're witnessing here, but the Williams nearly tries to outbrake him. The Haas through the middle of him, and the Williams just manages to stay ahead and get through to P9 and maintain his position and where he started off in the race. Safety car. Safety car is out, lap 16 out of 27, and that will pass by a few laps, I guess, but it is Neffel 33. No, not Neffel 33, he's out of the race. And he was such a good guy. But I did like him. Yeah, I did like him. Neffel 33 is one of my favourites. Every time I go into a league, I don't like doing this, but one of the drivers always sticks out to me. I always end up picking a favourite. And Neffel 33 is the guy that's sticking out to me in today's race. Sadly, he's out, but under safety car, you're going to have to hear me waffle for a bit longer. Right then, everybody, there is officially 10 laps to go in today's race. Safety car is out. Emod is the man leading the race in the Williams. And behind that, it was Kuto for such a long while. This time, it's Nico in at P2 in the Alpine. Nico is having a good race, to say the least. We'll have a look at tyres, shall we? We have quite a lot on the mediums. There's a few on the softs. There is one singular driver on the hards, and we'll have a look at position changes as well. I do like to do this. Nico is one guy that's having a good race. Don't forget about Leavers a Beaver in P6, who has gained 8 positions as well. Nico also gained 8 positions, and what a race from both of them. Props to them indeed. Emod gained 1. Gorku down 4 from his starting position. MFG is in P7 and gained 4 positions in today's race so far. He's also one that is having a good race. Leave it to Beaver in the pit lane. He's dropped down 2. So, still good, but not as good as it was earlier on. And here in the UK, it's just hit midnight, which I do really apologise because I can't really give you my full commentating potential. I mean, if you watch some of my streams in the daytime, you'll see a difference. You will, but as it's obviously late here for me, I can't really scream and shout as much as I'd love to. But I am trying to give you the best I possibly can, and as the safety car heads over the second sector line, the safety car will be coming in at the end of this lap, will it? Or am I completely mistaken? Yes, it will be. Absolute master at predicting. And Emod will be the man to start them off. The man to get them going once more. The man to do it all again. And the man that has been doing it for the past few safety cars and safety car restarts and the VSCs. Emod knows exactly what he's doing then to get going once again. He went early last time. Will he go early this time? He now finally goes and doesn't seem ready to catch Nico out because Nico's already on the back side of him and gaining. Down the main straight we go. Nico is gaining on the Williams. We might see an overtake down here. Emod has been the leader of this race for so long. Nico challenging for the lead then. He's on the soft compound tyres as well, the new softs, trying to take the lead from the Williams driver. These softs are proving to work brilliantly for him at the moment. Can Nico try and overtake him then, as we are nearly breaking into the lap 20, and Nico is trying his very, very hardest to overtake Emod then after the safety car restart. Can he get through? Can he make it 9 positions gained in today's race? Already pushing that Williams car through, but it was a bit deep through that corner for Nico and not a brilliant set of corners there. Definitely not compared to Emod or Kuto behind him either as well. And behind it is Gorgo F1. I've been saying everyone's names so wrong. I've just realised. I'm so sorry. I will get it right next time. It is Gorgo F1 in P5 and trying to overtake the AlphaTauri, but nothing comes out of that one. Through the parabolic we go. And up ahead it is Emod and Nico still going at it. Now look at this, because this Nico is on soft compound tyres. He's going to really help him to try and overtake Emod then. As we head down the straight, he pulls to the inside. Nico on Emod. Emod's been leading for so long, but can Nico take the lead of the race? Yes, he can for now. The Williams tries to start breaking down the inside, but what he doesn't know is Nico will have the drive to the inside. And Nico takes the lead of the Italian Grand Prix on lap 20 out of 27. Emod trying to fight back though. Emod trying to fight back around the outside. Can he get through? He's trying his very, very best. Emod in the Williams car takes the lead once again from Nico. That is everything that he's wanted to do. And he's overtook and took back what is his. Emod is on a roll. Right then, heading down towards the Parabolica, we see Nico. Now this is a battle that is starting to form. This is what we wanted to see for the whole race. Because Nico is gaining on Emod. Emod goes a little bit wide out of that corner, takes a bit of curb, but Nico masters it brilliantly. And look at this speed difference then with Nico and Emod so far. Nico going side by side with Emod. Can he overtake him before turn one? He's trying his best. The Mercedes on the backside as well, trying to get through. Williams outbreaks him. The Williams manages just to stay ahead of that corner there. The switchback of dreams from the Alpine, but he can't get through. And on that lap around, the Alpine stays down in P2. And P3 and P1 is Emod. Well then, Emod's still leading so far, and the gap between him and Nico is 0.4 of a second. There is 6 laps to go, and the race is nearly coming to an end. This race has gone incredibly quick, it really has, and Nico is gaining on the backside of Emod. Now as we head towards the main straight, can Nico find enough space, find enough speed to overtake Emod once and for all? Then he goes to the outside, the overspeed is working for him, and he does get through for now past Emod. Emod can't do anything about it, and on this time around, Nico takes the lead of the Italian Grand Prix. Emod's being swallowed up by Kuto and Gorgo as well, and that is not what he wanted. Emod's had such a brilliant race. Can he fight back though on Nico, who is having such a better one so far with the overtaking and with the drive so far? Big DRS train then here in IUF1, and it is Kuto a bit deep through that corner to say the least. Then it is Gorgo on the backside of the Mercedes, but the Mercedes has got the ERS and managing to pull away a little bit, but Gorgo, it's nothing to phase him then on them soft compound tyres, trying to overtake down into the Parabolica. Can he do it? The McLaren overtakes the Mercedes there with the same powered engine as well. Gorgo overtakes the Mercedes. Next on his list to overtake is the Williams up ahead, but the Mercedes is already trying to fight back. He won't work though because both have the DRS. Up ahead though, Emod to take the lead away back again from Nico. Nico's now got Gorgo on the inside as well. Nico's the one in danger now because Gorgo already trying to overtake. But Nico manages to shut him off before that happens. And Emod, Nico, Gorgo is the 1, 2 and 3 here in IUF1 at the moment. It's not over yet though because the Mercedes is pushing Gorgo through these corners at the moment and is seeming to be working brilliantly so far. Lap 23 out of 27. And Emod leading the race then, but it is Nico trying to go down the inside. Can Nico overtake him? Yes, he can. And Nico takes the lead of the Italian Grand Prix, then overtakes Emod. What an overtake that was, and we've been waiting for that one for so long. Nico finally finds it into overtaking once again, but this time, can Emod trying to fight back round here, or will it have to be at the end of this lap like we saw last time around? That is the big question. That is what we are going to watch out for and see what is going to happen then in today's race towards the conclusion. There is 3 laps to go. This race has absolutely flew by. I will tell you that. It has absolutely flew by. It has really gone fast. And MFG with a 3-second time penalty at the moment. Emod though on the backside of Nico as we head towards the Ascari chicane. And we'll see what Emod can do. You might be able to overtake him into air. No, he doesn't. He stays back though. And this time, I believe he will try and overtake him. Maybe down here into the Parabolica. Or if he can't do that, it'll be onto the main straight like last time around. Deja vu then for the drivers. Because these two having a scrap again. As Emod does sit on the brakes a bit there. He stays back because he knows about the DRS. He knows that he'll get the DRS coming out of this corner if he can just master the exit out of that corner. Now he will head towards the line then with the Alpine ahead of him. And finally, the Alpine up ahead, who is going slower than Emod. Emod with the speed down the inside. Can Emod overtake him? No, he can't. And this time, Nico manages to hold his position and hold P1 in today's race. That is spectacular. Still isn't over yet though, because Emod is already fighting back at Nico. And can he try and overtake him towards the end of this race? Yellow flags are set out. There's a few laps to go, and somebody is round. It is the Haas of MFG, who's been having such a good race as well. And he goes round at the end. I think, is that Dre dude that's gone round as well? Earlier on? Might have been. And into the Parabolica. Emod is taking the lead. He is the leader of the Italian Grand Prix then. From Nico, from Gorgo then, onto the penultimate lap of today's race. Nico is trying to fight back. Is that Nico staying back? Nico looking like he could have overtook there, but he did stay back. And up ahead, Emod maintains the lead of the Grand Prix today. Yellow flags still out into turn 1. Big carnage up there. Rob Stark with a 5-second time penalty in this race at the moment. Kuzo, who was having such a good race earlier on, is down in P12, which is unfortunate to see. But on the penultimate lap of today's race, we are seeing Nico try and gain on Emod in today's race. Penultimate lap. This race has gone incredibly quick into the Ascari chicane. Oh no, Nico goes deep. Nico goes incredibly deep. Gorku, who has gone down 2 positions from where he started in pole position, is trying to gain back on Nico and take the lead of this, take P2 once again as they go around the Parabolica, the famous Parabolica, to start the final lap of today's race. Chrism is out of the session then at the end of this Grand Prix. But heading down the straight now, this is the lap. This is the final lap of the weekend. Nico with the speed on Emod. He knows he's got to give it everything at the end of this lap there to try and get through. It is Nico overtaken in the Alpine, but can he get through past Emod in the Williams? Yes, he can. And up to P1. He takes the lead from Gorgu now in P2 and then Emod in P3 on the final lap of today's race. And the Williams trying to get down the inside. Can he go around the outside? No, he cannot on the McLaren on the final lap of today's race. Gets ahead. Oh, and Emod nearly spinning round at the end there. That is absolutely mental. But Emod manages to stay in P3 and not crash out and not spin out and stay on the track. And now gaining on the McLaren. Can he go around the outside and overtake him at the end of this lap? It's lap 27 out of 27, the final lap of today's race. And Emod trying to go around the outside of Gorgu, then into the Ascari chicane. Can he do it at the end of this race? It all comes down to this, the battle at the end of this race. It is absolutely spectacular here in IUF1, the championship sorry, the Champions Tier here today. My first time doing it. It's been absolutely brilliant. It's been an absolute honour. And Nico, the guy that's been battling all race long with Emod, finally gets his moment in the sun. It is Nico to take the win then for the Italian Grand Prix from Gorgo, from Emod then in P3. What a race, boys. Well done. Absolutely brilliant then. Gary, Lucky P4. It is Gary P5, Mr. Old School P6, MFG 7 after he crosses the line. MFG 7. It is Rob Stark in 8, Dre Dude 9. When they all cross the line eventually. Rob Stark with a 5-second time penalty for an unserved penalty, so he drops down right to the bottom there. It is MFG 7. It is Leave It to Beaver 8, Rob Stark 9, Dre Dude 10, and Kuto to take the final spot and take P11 here today for the race. Next up is the podium celebrations. Right then, everybody. Finish results then for the Italian Grand Prix. It is Nico to take the win today from Gorgo, then from Emod in P3. What a battle, let me just say, between them three today. It was absolutely brilliant. From Lucky P4, Gary P5. It is Mr. Old School in P6, MFG 7, Leave It to Beaver in 8, Rob Stark 9, Dre Dude 10, and then moving down the grid, it is Kuto 11. And then that is it for everybody that finished, actually. And thank you for joining me for my first round on IUF1. Hopefully, if everybody actually wants me to come back, which I am coming back anyway because I'm on a contract, I will be back for next Monday night at 11 o'clock for me, and I think 5 or 6 for you. Thank you for having me, and I will see you all next week.